In our last episode, we run from Tropical Cyclone Iris, provision to head north,
big job.
then fix our broken loo.
Okay, so what a hilarious couple of days we have had. We're just about to set off and head north. We're all provisioned, got the toilets sorted out, and we're sitting here having a bit of lunch. Well, actually we weren't sitting here, we were sitting in another bay altogether having some lunch, and we've got this new thing we've started doing in muddy bottomed anchorages. What we do is, if we're about to head off, we'll pull up a bit of the anchor chain off the bottom and let that hang in the water and get cleaned. So we're doing that a little bit over lunch. We're just about to pack off, and Darren starts winding and puts his foot on the anchor winch and starts winding the last bit of the anchor. Well, the anchor winch blew. So we've got no anchor winch. We're in a busy anchorage, and we've got boats all around us, and we start dragging, obviously, because we've pulled most of the anchor off of the sea floor. So I'm up at the helm and I'm trying to hold Sarean in place, and it's blowing about 25 knots at this stage, so it was a bit of a task, while Darren was down below trying to suss out if we just had a short with the anchor winch or what was wrong with it. Yeah, we couldn't get it started, and eventually he had to come up and just hold up the anchor by hand. So we took off to a safe mooring. We pick up the mooring and just about to start last night pulling off the anchor winch to suss out what the story with it is. And I go down below, the whole cabin is full of the smell of diesel, and thinking, oh, this is not good. So have a look in the engine room, and there's one of the pipes on the diesel return valve had shrunk a little bit with the heat, and the hose clamp had just come loose. Anyway, diesel all over the engine, and a night spent cleaning that up. Oh, gee whiz.
With the anchor winch off, we set to and pull it apart.
Come on, humour me. Be nice to Dazza.
Think you're getting it?
Yeah, I'm just hoping the top of the screw's going to hang in there. I've only gone half a turn, but it is coming.
Come on, little fella, you can move.
Come on, you got oceans to sail.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have broken off half of the head of one of the really long screws that goes down right through this unit, and we're just trying to get it out. Patience is a virtue. Ooh. Looking hopeful. You got it.
Let's break it.
Oh, bugger. Bugger. Uh-oh.
You broke it.
Who broke it? Who broke it? It's okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, babe, where are we up to?
Okay, we've finally got the old winch motor apart, and it's pretty much how, or what I expected. The old brushes are worn out in it, and that's a new one that I've put in. I haven't actually fitted that, or haven't soldered it in yet, but you can see the old one, how much difference it is. It's right in that brush carrier, and what's happened is that the spring comes down and it pushes on top of the brush, and it's touching the carrier, so it can't push on the brush anymore. You could MacGyver that if you wanted to. You could just put a little bend in the spring, or just grind the brush carrier away a little bit, and it would probably get you going. But generally there's not much in these little babies. They're really simple. Okay, we've assembled the motor. Everything's tested okay, but you would have seen in a little bit of footage that we broke one of the bolts that actually holds the motor to the gearbox, and how we've actually overcome that. We've just used a bit of this threaded rod, which virtually lays inside the engine like that, and there's a little bit of a slot. I'll put where the old bolt was broken, I've just run a cut through there with a grinder, so that just pokes through there like that. You can see the nuts on either end, and that's pretty much how we fixed it. Bit of rod cost a few bucks. We've got new brushes in there, we've just put new seals in the gearbox, new oil, and I reckon we've fixed it for under 35 bucks, and she's ready to go again.
You are an absolute wonder, my honey.
I surprise myself sometimes.
So with the winch fixed, it's time to bed it down and then get sailing off to new destinations.
Well, good morning. It's a lovely morning. We are pointing our bow north, and just pointed a little bit too far north. And making our way towards Cairns, which is lovely. So it's a bit of a sort of a drizzly, rainy day at the moment, and the last few days the wind has been in the 25s, gusting 30s and whatnots. But we're just moseying on out of the bay, and actually we're heading towards the place we got married a year ago, almost a year ago. Isn't that nice?
Fantastic.
So we'll do a quick stopover in there. We should be about 5 or 6 hours to get there. Currently there's not a drop of wind, but we're hoping once we get out of the lee of the Hook Island we'll pick up a bit of breeze, so it should be nice. Yeah, so we're on a bearing of 270 or 280, which is almost due west. And Darren's pulling out the heady. He's determined we're going to get some sort of forward motion from the breeze that we're actually making ourselves. Anyway, good on him. I love a sailor. I love a sailor. Rightio, hopefully we shall catch a bit more breeze soon and get the turn the old motor off and get humming in tune with nature. Be good. Check in with you later on.
Yeah, what started off as a rainy old day with no wind, we've got about 15 knots of breeze and the sun's just come out. Beautiful. How good's this?
We meet the most amazing people as we travel. each living different lives to the norm. Or shall I say, finding ways to live their dreams. Of the lovely group of folk who came to share a farewell on board Sarean, all had sailed to some extent. Some out into the Pacific, some from other parts of the world, some with their children, and one fine gentleman who had sailed to Africa on a 28-foot yacht. The stories were tall, however all real, and those are the ones I find most inspirational of all. We're very blessed to meet such down-to-earth people, such humble folk, who are simply out doing what they love. Thank you, beautiful Whitsunday friends. We hope to see you again soon.
Maybe the rain's gone.
Oh, I think it has. Okay, so we're just coming in through Gloucester Passage at the minute. This is where we're going to anchor for the night. And it's quite a sort of a thin little passage, and you've got to go through, wind your way around quite a few different little marks, because it's quite shallow, this area. So we'll wind our way around this little island and end up here for the night.
Oh, Capitan's on full concentration here. Anyway, my lover, I'm going to start the engine just for you.
Are you?
Yeah. I can see you getting frustrated.
Well, we're doing 2 knots.
But
and when we get around the other side of that little islet, we'd have no wind.
I better start the engine then. Just in case.
I smell ice cream.
Oh.
Oh, gee.
See, there's some wind.
Even Sarean wants to get going. There's ice cream on that beach over there.
Is there?
Next morning we set sail for Cape Upstart.
What are you doing, my honey?
Oh, I'm just trying to stop the autopilot working so hard. It just what's happening. It's good for going to windward where you want to compensate most of your turning factors, but it's just every roll with the boat. You know, it's trying to compensate it. So I'm just trying to sharpen it up for, not so much sharpen it up, loosen it up for downwind sailing, if you like.
Okay.
Just got the book out and having a little play with a few settings, see what I can do with it.
So we're sailing through masses of coral spawn. They call it trichodesmia, which is a good sign. The coral are alive and active. Yeah, so we've got a bit of a busy time of it at the minute. We're just about to pass a place called Abbott Point, where the big ships come in and load up with coal. And this is us here, and you can see we've got 5 ships, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships sort of in our way, but we'll just dodge around them. And we're heading over here. We've got about 26 nautical miles to go to get to Cape Upstart, where we're going to chill out for the night.
Situated between Bowen and Townsville on Australia's eastern seaboard, Abbott Point Coal Terminal moves 50 million tonnes of coal annually.
Well, it is a corker day, and we've been cruising along for the first part of the morning, and it's just been beautiful. We were about to put the spinnaker up this morning. However, the wind got up to about sort of 15-ish knots, which just pushes our spinnaker a little bit too hard.
Vessel's just popped up on the AIS.
Oh, who is it?
Frozen Sea. Fishing vessel. 8.3 knots. They'll be all over us in an hour, or probably past us, I'd say.
Okay.
It's one of the little things of these AISs. You can see them before you can see them.
Yeah.
Pretty good. As long as I've got AIS, of course.
Okay.
Still got to keep watching.
Yeah. So this is the Frozen Sea, and he's just passing us now. He's taking us on the outside. On the outside. Okay, and we're just sailing past the Indus Prosperity now. To pop over for a cup of tea, but it sort of took us offline to get around the end of Cape Upstart, so we had to give it a miss.